Virginia Maloney is running for the city council on the east side. Now, it's not the same area her mother once represented before she went to Congress, but she hopes to be just as impactful. So why are you the woman of the moment, the woman who should be the representative of this district?
Thank you, first off, Marcia, for having me. I'm so excited for this conversation. I'm a native New Yorker, born and raised on the east side of Manhattan, with an amazing role model in my mother, Congresswoman Carolyn Maloney, who really instilled in me the importance of public service. I love New York. I think it's the best city in the world. But as I walk around, it's very clear that we have a lot of work to do. I have a background in both public and private sectors, and the set of skills and a unique experience that I think can meet the moment.
Well, you said at a press conference you had earlier in the week that this is not, you grew up on the east side, that this is not the city you grew up in. Why not? What's wrong with it?
Well, a lot of the themes that we're hearing across the city, you hear in District 4, which covers 93rd to 14th Street. People are being priced out of their homes and forced to leave the neighborhoods that they grew up in or move out of the city altogether. And people don't feel safe on our streets, whether that's our subways or just walking to work, afraid of whizzing e-bikes or even practicing their religion. And I feel that quality of life is suffering. We see basic services like sanitation or healthcare falling short when we need them most. And I want to be in city council to help deliver on basic solutions to improve the quality of life for all New Yorkers, including those in District 4.
So what kinds of things do you think will improve the quality of life? I mean, we're talking about getting e-bikes off the streets, licensing them. What kinds of things do you see?
So quality of life encompasses a lot of different issues. One of the hot button topics that you just brought up are e-bikes. I think that bikes need to stay in their lane, literally. Right now, it's the Wild West.
Should be licensed? Should they have license plates?
I support Priscilla's law, which would require license plates and enforcement. Right now, if a bike is on the sidewalk or going the wrong way or running a red light, it's very difficult to actually enforce those laws. So I'd start with enforcement, and I do think licensing is a great way to ensure that we're actually following the laws.
But, there's a situation with, like asking what the police officers should be doing.
Yeah.
And if you say to police officers, well, we're going to put you on policing e-bikes and you're going to see if they go through, we all know they go through red lights, they go up the streets the wrong way, they do all kinds of things.
It's the Wild West.
But the question is that what you want the police to be doing?
I think it should be a part of it. As we talk about the e-bikes in particular, I would want to work with a lot of the sources of the problem. So we know that there's been a big increase in delivery traffic, particularly after the pandemic. New York was a holdout. We're the brick and mortar city, but increasingly people are used to ordering a pizza and having it show up at their doorstep in 10 minutes. And that's all well and good until an e-bike nearly knocks you down on the way. So I think that the companies that like DoorDash, Seamless, that are managing these delivery drivers need to be part of the solution.
So they should be paying for licensing and insurance?
More what I'm talking about is a technological solution. So I am a product manager at Meta and have a background in tech. And so I know that we need those stakeholders at the table to talk about what might actually work. We know that everyone on a city bike and everyone using an app for a delivery service has their phone. There's a lot of information that comes with that. So if a delivery driver is going down the wrong street, or if they're getting to a location faster than they're legally allowed to, we need to have enforcement mechanisms that don't incentivize that type of behavior. We want safe streets for everyone, both the riders of the bikes and pedestrians.
So your mom used to brag that you were the first baby of a sitting city council person.
She still does.
I know that. So my question to you is this: how are you like her and how are you not like her?
Yeah. Well, I'm told a lot these days that I look a lot like her. But my mother still tells that story about being the first woman to have a child in city council. And I think it really speaks to how far we've come as a city and as a country. Now we have a majority female city council. And when she was there, that wasn't the case. She was hunting around for the women's restroom, right? So I am really grateful to her, obviously, as being my mother, but also for being a true trailblazer and making it possible for women to run for office and for women to be in the majority.
But how do you see your role in the city council, especially if Zoran Mondani becomes the mayor?
Yeah, I am a pragmatic, moderate Democrat. I am focused on the nuts and bolts of city life and the top priorities for my district. Some of those priorities do align with Zoran Mondani and with the assemblyman. And I think we do need to bring the conversation to affordability. It's truly a crisis. And I hope to partner with whoever the incoming mayor is on solutions that will address that problem.
Would you join the Progressive Caucus?
I am a pragmatic Democrat. I think I'm probably more middle of the road and would not necessarily join the Progressive Caucus.
So the hot topic in the mayor's race is the horse carriages in Central Park. I wonder how you come down on that. Should we have them? Should we have electric vehicles? Your thoughts?
Yeah, this is an issue that has been bopping around the city for nearly 2 decades now. I'm concerned about humane treatment of the animals that are in Central Park and of the horses. I am also concerned about tourism in New York City and ensuring that we keep people coming to New York and grow economic development levers. Having worked at EDC under Mayor Bloomberg, I know we have to be judicious in our decisions and balance both sides of the table. I wonder if there are ways that we could more humanely treat the horses and balance those two interests. I'll also say this has not been a big focus of my campaign. So in the city council, if I were faced with this particular vote, I would do additional research and speak with both groups. For me in my campaign, it's back to the topics that we're really focusing on: public safety, quality of life, affordability.
Okay, we have to leave it right there for now, but we will be right back. We are back with Virginia Maloney, and I guess I would like to talk to you about continuing to talk about public safety. One of your opponents wants to legalize pepper spray. How do you come down on that?
Legalizing pepper spray. I think that public safety is really a top priority. One of the things I'm very firm on is making sure that we fully fund law enforcement and are supporting our officers. I think we need them off their phones and in the streets, directly engaging with the community to a point where people don't need to feel that they need to carry pepper spray.
What do you feel? How do you feel about the threats from President Trump about sending the National Guard to New York City?
I'm extremely concerned about that. It's not the first example of federal overreach that we've seen. I'm worried about the extremism, and I find everything from the attacks on free speech to be highly concerning to the overreach into our democratic city. So I commend lawmakers who have held firm against the Trump administration, and I think that's what we need to do and hope to do in January when I am, knock on wood, in City Council.
One of the issues you're going to have to deal with, it seems, is the desire to close Rikers. The City Council did pass a bill to close it in 2027, but it's clear that that's not going to happen. The community jails are not ready.
Right.
And they only hold about 4,000 or so people, and there's at least 7,000 people in Rikers right now. What solution do you see?
This is a huge problem. It's clear, as you said, we are not going to have an answer by the required timeline, and we need to make sure that the system stays strong, that inmates have a place to go while we invest in more infrastructure. It's a terrible situation in Rikers, and it's a lot of delayed work that has been put off. And in City Council, I'd like to see more forward thinking in our leaders that are anticipating these problems and not having to scramble to alleviate them in these types of situations.
It seems like it's going to be a scramble because nobody seems to have been focusing on it. But
it does seem like a scramble. I agree.
So given your tech background, you do say that you want to modernize tech in city government. I wonder, why is that so important, and what specific things would you like to do to make city government more efficient?
It is a huge priority for me. I have been in the tech sector for nearly a decade and have seen how technology can really be a force for good. One of the tools I worked on is called Be My Eyes, which helps connect the blind and vision impaired with a real volunteer to help them navigate the world. That's just one example. But what I'm very interested in is modernizing the systems that government is using. It's 2025, but a lot of the tools feel like they're from 1995. And I think that someone like me, who has a tech background, could help up-level the solutions that we're offering. Constituent services are incredibly important, and the tools that government is using to reach people are simply outdated. One simple example is websites that meet accessibility scores, and our government websites don't do that. So having alternate text for an image, so someone who isn't able to see the image can still interact with that website. There are basic things that we can be doing, as well as investigating better solutions more holistically.
But also, given your tech background, how do you feel, like, how would you talk to people who are older and younger about AI and the possible loss of jobs?
I am very concerned about AI and its rapid development. I think we need more leaders in government who understand it, both in order to regulate the industry and also to adopt tools that will be useful for government services. One of the things I'm most concerned about is what the impact will be on high-skilled labor and our New York workforce. We are going to need to start investing in reskilling and training people on this new reality that is coming. One of the organizations I support is called Pursuit, and they help convert people who are coming from underserved backgrounds and working in different jobs, move them into technical roles. And they've already started to push forward AI training so that they'll be ready and their networks will be ready when this change comes. And I think that the city plays a role in ensuring our workforce is there.
So in the past weeks, I've been talking to people about the need or not need for more short-term rentals. I wonder how Airbnb and other things. I wonder how you come down on that. Should there be limitations, no limitations? Should we encourage people to rent out their apartments or their homes to Airbnb? What are your thoughts on that?
At the top of this conversation, we started with affordability. The median rent of a one-bedroom apartment in Manhattan is $5,000, and that is too high. So we need to be very careful about how we approach something like Airbnb if it will lead to an increase in housing costs.
So, it's funny when I talk to people about that and I ask them if they thought that it would increase rent. Some people said yes, some people say no. You think it really will increase housing costs?
If I'm faced with this issue in January, should I be in the council? I would want to take a data-based approach. I also think there's probably different molds for different parts of the city, and you need to really look at the information and talk to all stakeholders to make an informed decision about whether or not, what the impacts will be. What is important to me is that we take that step in governing, and we look at the data to make decisions.
So what do you think the most important issues are for District 4, the Council District 4?
Well, we've talked a lot, but it is really affordability and these concerns about public safety. I heard a lot about e-bikes. I heard a lot about just making sure that we all feel safe on our streets and on our subways. And it means different things to different people. Violent crimes are down, but we see disturbing increase in people who are clearly struggling with mental health and with substance abuse. So we need not Band-Aid solutions to these problems, but getting at the root of the problem, offering not just a bed for a night, but supportive housing that will help people get on a better track.
So I read that Malta coffee is your favorite coffee.
Is.
So
Yeah.
what is your order? What's your favorite order?
Oh, I have a very simple order. I'm a coffee with steamed skim milk. But what I love about Malta is it's a family-owned business and it's not a chain. We've seen how difficult it is to run a business here and too many empty storefronts. So when my local coffee shop came in, I was there. I was hosting meetings and trying to bring as much business to support a local business. So check it out. They have a great pistachio croissant as well. Mm-hmm.
So play tour guide in your district. If somebody was coming to your district, what 3 places would you take them to?
Ooh, well, I would start in the 90s, which is where I grew up. And Paula's is one of my favorite restaurants. Or then you head further downtown. You got to get a coffee, of course. So hit up Malta at 75th. You'll find me often on the 456 train, zipping up and down from 93rd all the way to Stuytown. I love the Oval in Stuytown. It's beautiful. There's so many fun events and parks, fun events and concerts in the park. It's an amazing district in the richness. There's so many cultural institutions, beautiful outdoor spaces. We have some of the waterfront right off of Stuytown and over by Sutton Place and St. Barton Park.
Sounds like you know your district.
We border Central Park, one of my favorite gems of New York, but that's technically outside of the district.
Virginia Maloney, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
And thank you at home for joining me as well.